Welcome back, everyone. This is Jaronitis bringing you Feed the Beast 1.6. Today, we are starting on episode 46. We got a lot of stuff to do today. So we're going to start out with a new kind of light. I like the idea of a new kind of light because we've done the sigils for light. We've done the, that would be the Ars Magica sigils for light. We've done the Thaumcraft lamp, magical lamp. What the heck's this stupid thing called? Oh, that's right. It's in the basement. Can't remember the name of it. That thing, the Arcane Lamp. And of course, we're going to go ahead today and make one of the classics. We're going to make the Arcane Lamp. No, we're going to make the Wrath Lamp. Now, I couldn't think of the other name before. Now I can only think of that name. Okay, so we're going to cover this because we're going to be making a new room. As I alluded to last episode, I've been working on a little sub-project, and I've got it tore out. I used the filler to tear it out, and I used the Wand of Equal Trade to trade it in with a bunch of stone block that I've been making. Anyway, so we want to make Wrath Lamps. To make Wrath Lamps, we need a Wrath Igniter. I'll get to that in just a second. Silver's no big deal, but dark iron is the big thing. So, in our mining, we've run across dark iron. You only find dark iron down in the lower 15 levels, I think, from Y level 1 up to about 15 or so. It's really close to the bedrock. I'm not even sure, it might even be a 1 to 10, but it's right at the bottom of the world. Luckily, I found quite a bit of it because of the way my auto mining program works. So, I may have a good bit of it, but I don't want to waste any of it. So normally you can just smelt this stuff, and if you smelt it, you get, as you can see here, dark iron equals 1 dark iron ingot. I don't really like that idea, so instead I'm going to do the Induction Furnace, and you can Induction Furnace with sand and the ore, and it gives you 2 with a chance of getting some rich slag. And I'm not even sure what rich slag is used for. It is used to induction smelt and okay, so you can triple your ores if you get enough of the stuff. Okay, so yeah, this is a good idea because we'll be getting that as well. So I've already put some in here to be working on, and I'm going to put some more up in here. And that way this stuff can continue to run. I still need to put a chest up here so it'll continue to do that for me anyway. But actually, as a matter of fact, I will do that real quick just so I can make sure that this continues to run for now. So, the other thing we want to do is to get a Wrath Igniter. Wrath Igniters are simple to make once you have the correct ingredients. The problem is getting the correct ingredients. It's not really so simple to do. Well, it really is simple to do, but because they don't show you how. You need diamond shards. Diamond block shard, it says exploded diamond block. Okay? Some people might wonder what that is all about. In case you are one of those people, I will now demonstrate. So basically, previously you had to use a craft packet maker to make diamond shards. Now they've deleted that and they've made it so you just have to literally blow up a block of diamond. So you take a block of diamond, you take a thing of TNT. I would show you how to make TNT. But it's just gunpowder and sand, and I don't remember the exact way that mixture goes together, but it's gunpowder and sand. Anyway, heck, why not? We'll just do this real quick. We're gonna do TNT, dynamite, TNT. Okay, so 5 gunpowder and 4 sand equals TNT, so no big deal there. So if you have the stuff, you can make it. It's no big deal. And here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to place the block of diamond. Then we're going to place the TNT. And then we're going to use a redstone torch to light the TNT. Then we're going to back up and watch the fun. Oh, look. A hole in the earth. But not only is there a hole in the earth, but look. There are diamond shards. For those of you who want to know, you get 18 diamond shards per block of diamond. So if you come up with less than that, you missed some, go back searching. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get the Wrath Lamp built so that we can make the actual Wrath Lamps. The Wrath Igniter built so we can get the Wrath Lamps. It requires nether brick, which is just netherrack smelted. I think I even have some of that stuff around here somewhere. If not, you know, I'm just not even going to bother taking the time because I have way too much to do this episode to be worried about trying to find something I may or may not have. It's been a little bit of time between episodes. I found out a couple of things, and it has given me this amazing... No, not macerate. Cook. I'll explain this later when I get some time. Needless to say, it's helping automate that particular process. I'll get to that in a minute. But a lot of things have happened between the last episode and this episode, and I am very eager to get going on things. So we're going to try to pack as much into this episode as we possibly can, and still not going to get it all done. Alrighty, so there we go, Wrath Igniters. Alright, so now with the Wrath Igniters, we need glass panes, silver, and the dark iron. So I should have all the silver I need. And the glass panes, we're probably going to have to make a bunch of those. And it's such a pain, I know. You see what I did there, right? Making glass panes is a pain. Yes, I know, I'm horrible, but it's okay. Ooh, that can make 16 stacks. I don't need that much. And yet I made it anyway. I was like, wow, I don't need that much of this stuff. Here, let me make it anyway. But that's okay too, because I did. Alright, so you can't shift click this in because the Wrath Igniter is not registered as a stackable item, and stackable items won't shift click in. So instead, we're just going to do this way. And there we go, Wrath Lamps. Now each Wrath Igniter, as you can see, makes 12 Wrath Lamps. So if you intend to make bunches of them, make bunches of them. Otherwise, you know, you have extra Wrath Lamps, or extra Wrath Igniters laying around. I'm going to keep saying this backwards, so I'm just going to stop saying it. But needless to say, I think 46 is plenty, and we can go ahead and, for now, we'll just auto-sort this stuff, because I don't need it in my inventory anymore, because we are done with this section of the build. Alright, so, before we go seeing the next place, we're going to need to start a process running. One of the things we're going to have to start making is actually a new machine called the rolling machine. No, it doesn't require 3 L's in rolling. And not an M. Wow. Special stuff. Okay, rolling machine requires 4 pistons, a crafting table, and iron ingots. No big deal. I think I've even got a piston. Alright, well, we're going to need to make more pistons. That was kind of surprising. Other than that, we should have it all. Okay, so wood, iron, redstone, cobblestone. Okay, good. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4 stacks of cobblestone, 1 stack of redstone. Oh. 1 stack of iron, and 3 stacks of planks. 1, 2, 3. Alright, good. So now we can make a stack of these because, yeah, just because. Alrighty, so now we just need to grab a crafting table, which I should have plenty of here. And now we can make our rolling machine. Now, the rolling machine is actually going to be very useful. It's part of Railcraft, and it runs off of the same power source as we have already running upstairs. So I'm going to go upstairs and... Ooh, I may have to pipe this in a certain specific way, and I'm not really sure how I want to do that as of yet. You know, I did a lot of planning for this episode, but I completely forgot how I'm going to wind up routing this in. Okay, let's see. It doesn't matter. So we're going to get and bring with us a bunch of steel because we are going to be setting up and getting ready for a bunch of tanks. I'm going to start storing liquids. Previous to this, I haven't been storing any liquids. I've been making them, but not actually doing anything specific with them after I had them made up. So today, we're actually going to get these things made up. To make steel plates, by the way, this can be done with either steel or iron. I use steel because steel, first off, I've been making it for a long time, specifically preparing for this episode. Secondly, I have wanted to use steel because steel, what the heck's a chicken doing in my house? Because it's a chicken, Eddie. Steel, making the tanks out of steel makes them hold twice the normal amount for the same size that you build them out of. So I wanted that to be that way for that reason as well. So now we're going to go ahead and set this up like this. And this should only take a second to plumb in, I hope. Bring just some of these with me, and there it is. Alright, so while this is running, once I get this set up, I hope I can actually do this way. I think I can. But I don't honestly remember if this actually will accept this as an input. Yes, it will. Good. Steel going there. Keep it fed. Excellent. Good. So now I'm going to run around to the outside, and wow, it really makes me wish I had made the portable hole. Portable holes are a really fun little thing that you can play with, given the right opportunities. But for the moment, I don't. Cover. That should be the only thing going over there. So now I should, in theory, I can just place this right here. Open up this piece of wall. Make sure that this is set right. Grab my wrench that I don't have put up. Grab this. And do one of these. Excellent. Good. So now this is going to continue to make these steel plates while I go ahead and do other things, and it won't hold up the machine or get all messy or anything like that. This will just continue to function as I want it to. And boom, there goes the facade. Now you can't even tell. Alright, so now while that's working, we're going to go light up our other space, which looks like it might have a creeper in it. I added an elevator here to go below Honeycomb Hideout, because below Honeycomb Hideout is where I'm going to be building this. And nope, just bats. Alright, speaking of bats, I shall join the rank of the bat and fly around, because I want to place these wrath lamps on the ceiling, and I need to be able to fly to do so. Not really worried about exactly the exact placing of these. It doesn't have to be pretty. I may actually get the tape measure out and put them in exact aligned courses, specifically to make sure that everything looks all pretty and stuff. But right now, I just want the room lit. That's all I'm really worried about. And yes, this should light up. Wow, really? That's fine. As long as I get the place lit up. I made extra wrath lamps specifically so I don't have to worry about lighting this place up. Wow, it's amazing how dark that actually is staying. Let's say, come on now, I'm placing extra lamps here. Maybe I just made the room a little bit too big. Possibility. Either way, there we go. And now all we have to do is kill a bunch of bats. Alright, so previous to this, this room had actually been having all kinds of problems with creepers and dark mages and all kinds of stuff like that. In the northeast corner should be the corner of Honeycomb Hideout here. However, I don't need to be a bat anymore. We can fly over here, but we're not going to fly. So I added this, which is the normal elevator, but then we can shift again and drop in down here. Alright, so now we have a 3-space elevator. I'm going to be making use of a lot of these in the future. Do we got anything new? No, nothing new. Okay, good. So, the bees have been running for a while. I found out something interesting, by the way. Bees, when you see the traits on the princesses that say ignoble stock or pristine stock, ignoble stock, they have a chance of producing no princess. And I don't know what the exact percentage chance is, but eventually, if you run them long enough, cycling them amongst themselves, eventually the queen will die without leaving a princess behind, and then your bees don't process anymore. So, previously I thought it was some sort of glitch having to do with the item ducts being used to keep the bees running, but that was actually not the case. I was using ignoble stock. See, this is pristine stock, and everything in my in Honeycomb Hideout has been swapped out for pristine stock. This is my pristine stock chest, and then this is my ignoble stock chest. You might notice that there's a lot of queens in here. These are the old queens that were before I swapped out the ignoble queens that haven't turned bad yet, but would soon enough. I went ahead and switched them over to pristine stock so I wouldn't have to worry about this being a problem. So now Honeycomb Hideout is back fully operational, and I don't have to worry about princesses disappearing, or well, in this case, queens giving forth no princesses. These are the only ignoble stock I still have running, mainly because I just didn't bother to swap them out, and because I was planning on dismantling this whole section anyway. So, the reason we're doing liquid storage now, and liquid storage may take up the next several episodes, although I think I'll be able to get the basics of it done this episode, and then next episode, or between this episode and next episode, we will actually, where's all my steel plates? Uh-oh, this is not good. This is actually very bad. Where are all my steel plates? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You're making them. They're disappearing. Where are they going? Why are they ending up here, of all places? Oh, I know why. Okay, if that was full, where are they not? Okay, well, obviously some new piping has to be done here. Oops. What can I say except oops? So, that's fine. I'll have to figure that out later. That's not a big deal. We will figure it out. At least nothing's getting destroyed. They're just sitting there. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to be looking at Railcraft Tanks. Okay, so we type in tank, we get this whole big thing, and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't mean anything special. Iron tank walls, iron tank gauge, and iron tank valves. That's what we want to have if we were using iron. The next thing is steel tank walls, steel tank gauges, and steel tank valves. We're going to use steel because it's going to make things easier. So the wall is no big deal. Ignore that. This is how you make the wall. Last season when I did my liquid storage section, I made each different tank a different color. I'm really not getting involved in that this time, mostly because equivalent exchange is not on this this version of the mod pack, and I can't make dyes whatever color I want whenever I want using the minium stone, because there is no minium stone in this version. So I'm just going to make them all out of normal everyday steel. So 4 steel plates equals 8 steel tank walls. That's no big deal. We'll do that here in a minute. This is the one that actually kind of gets me just a little bit, because it requires steel plates and glass panes. Oh wait, it doesn't get me because I made glass panes. Gee, I wonder if I saw this coming. Of course I saw this coming. I planned the episode out. So we're going to make a bunch of these. Alright, so now we have enough of these to choke a horse, or 10. So now we don't have to worry about making those anymore. What did I actually run out of? Okay, I actually ran out of panes. And then the steel tank valves. This is going to be iron bars, steel plates, and a lever. So let's see. Machine parts is going to hold the levers and the iron bars for that matter. And we've got the rest on us. So we're going to go ahead and make these. No. And now we've got plenty of these. Alright, so now we can actually make the tanks. But I'm forgetting something. I knew I was forgetting something. We're going to bring these with us. We're going to bring these with us because I actually need them. And we're going to change them to a new color because we don't want to do this with lava. Don't get me wrong, I will do this with lava eventually, but not now. This is bee centric. It is specifically centered around bees. Speaking of which, I should have another machine here, but I'm not seeing it. I thought I would have it here, but I'm not sure. Maybe I left it in the bee stuff? Centrifuge. Casing. Sturdy casing. Okay, well, I guess I didn't make an extra one. We need to make a squeezer. Now, squeegee? I'm actually incredibly curious, but now's not time for that. Alright, so we need tin and glass and the casings that I already have. So, ferrous, silver, tin, and glass, and the casings that I already have. Did I just make 2 casings or 1? There we go. Alrighty, so now we can head back over to Honeycomb Hideout. Now, all this running back and forth between here and Honeycomb Hideout, that can't keep. I don't like doing that. It's actually kind of annoying, and I don't want to have to do it anymore. So I'm not going to do it anymore when I get done with this setup. Now, this may happen next episode, because I don't foresee us being able to keep this up, keep going at this pace before we run out of time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, if you remember when I defeated the Wither, I used one of the Nether Stars to make a, gosh, I cannot remember the name of that thing now. That thing. Oh well, I can't remember. But it's okay. We'll survive without it. So, anyway, I'm going to use that to make a quick and easy way to transport ourselves back and forth between there and here. So, first thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to decide what size tank I want to make. As you can see by the descriptions here, you can have height and diameter of varying sizes. Either 4 high, 5 high, 6 high, 7 high, or 8 high, and a diameter of 3, 5, 7, or 9. The reason it has to be 3, 5, 7, or 9 is because it has to be square in that respect, in the bottom respect. So, let's see. I think that I am going to go with a 5 base and probably 6 high. So, if that's the case, what we're going to do is we're going to put this a little bit away from the wall. Actually, we should put it a little ways away from the wall. Well, yeah, this room is pretty big. 5, 5, 5, and 5. Okay, so that's going to leave us with a 5x5 base. Okay, the center of the bottom of the tank is where the data is kept for what it's in the tank. That block is incredibly important. I am putting that as the valve right here. Now, let me explain just a little bit further what I mean by how important it is. When you build this tank, and I'm going to be a bat for this because it'll be easier. When you build this tank and then you put something in it, if you accidentally break the tank, it's not going to be that big of a deal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because if you break the tank, it will destroy just the piece of tank that you break, and then what it'll show the tank as being empty. But if you actually take the time to put the piece of tank back, as long as the piece you broke is not the bottom center piece, then when you put the piece back, whatever was in the tank will show up as still being there. And that's actually very important to understand, because you don't want to go, oh, I broke the tank, all my liquids are gone, and they're actually not. They're not actually going to be gone. But if you were to, you could tear down the entire tank, literally the whole thing, as long as you leave the bottom center piece undisturbed, then the actual stuff in the tank is actually still there. And then you can rebuild the tank around the bottom center piece, and it would still show what was in it as being in it. Alright, so if I've thoroughly confused everyone, we'll continue the build. You know, I usually make my tanks bigger than this. I decided to try to go a little smaller than usual. That being said, understand that I gave myself room to expand this. Just in case I decide that I want to make these bigger. I gave myself room away from the wall right here. If I really want to, I can expand them out and make them bigger. I'm not going to as of yet, though. So anyway, this is a multi-block structure in that you actually build it, and then once you have it completed, and when you build it correctly, when you put the last piece in, it will change forms and and then it will have its own GUI, or graphical user interface. Okay? So by building this correctly, when I place this, it will form the multi-block. So here we go. Multi-block form! Uh-oh. I either need to wait a second or I built it wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tall. Height of 6, diameter of 5, it should be forming. Now, previously you had to build it 8 tall. I wonder if that's the case again. It says 6, but well, let's assume that that's incorrect and build this 2 taller and see if that makes it form. If that doesn't make it form, then oh, I missed a piece, didn't I? Oh my, I did. I missed a piece of glass. I'm a dummy, and I've already tore it down. So now the question becomes, do I make it back the way I had it, or do I just go ahead and grow it to the 8 tall that its maximum is? I don't know. I'll have to think about that. That's definitely something to consider. Should I make it bigger? Leave it in the comments. Should I make it bigger or should I leave it the same? I'll have to figure that out. I'm not really certain how I want to go about doing this. I hope somebody got a laugh out of that. I know I did. Should I make it bigger? I don't know. Let's talk about whether or not I should make it bigger as I'm actively building it bigger. Okay, well, that was an unintended surprise, but still, multi-block form! Yes! Okay, that's better. I feel better now. Okay, so, now, the reason I brought my ender tanks with me is because I'm going to use the ender tanks in order to fill these. So, I'm going to place the first ender tank here and flip this gauge. If you guys remember from the last time we messed with ender tanks, if the orange is facing up, that means that the ender tank is in empty mode. So that means that this ender tank is emptying into my storage tank. Okay? So, yeah. Well, I just had an odd thought. That's okay, I'll get back to that in a minute. Alright, so over here, we're going to change things up. By the way, you might notice I'm actually saving some drones here. I'm curious as to how many different types of drones I have, because you know, this is cultivated, and this is cultivated, and this is cultivated. That means I have at least 3 different variations of cultivated bees. So I'm starting to save some of them because I'm curious as to how many different versions I have. Alright, so let's see. Next we need to get the squeezer in use. what we need to do is we need to squeeze things so that we can get stuff to fill the tanks with. Okay, so let's see. I think I'm going to put the squeezers over here. Yes, I'm going to put the squeezers over here. And I didn't bring enough of the... No, I sure didn't. Well, for now, we're just going to put down one squeezer, because I only have one version of squeezing that I need to do. And I need to go get some more energy pipe, because I didn't bring enough. That's okay, this will just take a second. We'll run over here. And see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Running back and forth like this is causing it to be quite annoying going back and forth. Alright, machine, energy conduit comes over here. And we're going to use an axe really quick. My Bane of Arthropods ruby axe. That sounds like a good one to use. Beware, arthropods, I'm chopping wood. I should stop right here and kill a spider with it just for spite-er. Oh, kill it just for spite-er. Kill a spider just for spite-er. Nothing? Y'all are no fun. I swear, I keep telling jokes and nobody laughs. Thank you, honey. That was perfect. I said that and my wife cracks up. Oh, I feel better now. Alright, we're going to switch back to a bat so we can do this more effectively. Alrighty, and of course we run into dirt. And I'm just not going to be bothered to get my shovel out at this particular moment. But we should run into my energy conduit for my centrifuge here in just a second, since we're going down the same line that the centrifuge is on. And there we are. Sweet. Come here, energy. Excellent. Why am I not picking these things up? Because my inventory is full. Again. Get out of here, get out of here. And get out of here, get out of here, get out of here, and whatever. Alright, so now that we have that going, we need to determine how we're going to progress and get things where I want them to be. So what we need to do now is determine what do we need to squeeze. We need to squeeze honey drops, and we need to squeeze honeydew. Okay, both of those are going to provide honey. For the moment, we're actually not going to worry about that because we're out of time for the episode. But since we are going to get this started before the episode ends, we're going to go ahead and hook this up like this, and we're going to hook this up like this. Then we're going to wrench, impulse, click, add this, and we're going to tell this to pump away. Alright, so now that we have that set up, we can actually take, well, we would be able to. Oh, just get out of my inventory, okay? Just get out for now, please. Thank you. Alright, so now in the squeezer we can put these honey drops in, and the honey drops are going to squeeze out honey. So that honey is then immediately getting pumped out of there and into the ender tank. The ender tank is then transporting it to its counterpart down here, and look, we have honey storage. Now, if we right-click on this, I think you can right-click on it with almost anything. It'll actually show you a GUI. It'll show you that we now have a bucket of honey, 1,000 millibuckets. And if you just look at it, the Wayla, what am I looking at, mod, tells us that we have honey, and that is slowly but surely adding into its storage. Alright, well, that's where we're going to have to end up. We're actually a little bit over on time already. In between episodes, I am going to make a ton of liquid storage tanks. I am going to fill this room completely with liquid storage tanks, and I'm going to make them all the same size as this one. Okay, I showed you how to make them. I'm going to build a bunch of them, because I missed a spot. Dadgummit. Because I'm going to have just a bunch of liquids that I'm going to be storing, and I want to go ahead and build these tanks. So this is Jeronitis signing off on episode 46. Give me a like if you like what you see. Give me a subscription if you want to follow me around and see what I do next. Otherwise, help spread the gaming.